Mr. Tumble suspended by the BBC as he doesn't have a valid CRB certificate. 15 arrested after violent brawl between Slimming World and Weight Watchers members. And toddler kicked out of vegan child's birthday party for wearing a cow onesie.
This is Southend News Network Today with Sir Jim Pansy.
Hello and good evening. An urgent investigation has been launched after the BBC was forced to suspend all shows across their network that include the massively popular Mr. Tumble. This includes Something Special, a programme with millions of regular viewers. In a statement, a BBC spokesperson confirmed that while the talented actor Justin Fletcher has all of the necessary background checks in place to be able to work with children, his famous alter ego Mr. Tumble doesn't. And a complaint from a viewer in Southend has left network bosses with no choice other than to suspend the show until the correct checks have been carried out. The Beeb spokesperson spoke. "We regret to announce that Mr. Tumble will not be allowed to appear again on the BBC until we have obtained a current and valid enhanced certificate from the Criminal Records Bureau." Earlier this week, a complaint was received from a parent with an allegation that Mr. Tumble doesn't have a CRB document in his own name, and we did some further checks to see if this was true. According to our legal representatives, it isn't possible to obtain this sort of documentation in the name of someone who doesn't exist, and therefore we've been left with no alternative but to cancel all episodes of Mr. Tumble's shows until we can sort this out properly. Unfortunately, anyone who pays their licence fee has the right to get their complaints investigated, and failing to act appropriately is the last thing we need at the moment. We managed to track down the Southend resident who made the original complaint to the BBC earlier today, mother of 5 Stacey Dipshill, and when there was a break in Jeremy Kyle, she said, "I couldn't believe it when Shell from the nursery told me that Mr. Tumble probably don't have a CRB check. It's well crazy that someone who meets millions of kids every day doesn't have a certificate. My boyfriend ain't got one, and they won't let him work anywhere." Police were called to the Hockley Parochial Hall in Flymo Lane earlier this evening after a huge brawl broke out between members of rival Slimming World and Weight Watchers groups. The trouble started at around 7:30 when a double booking error meant that both groups arrived for their weekly meeting at the same time, and witnesses reported a heated exchange of words soon escalated into a frightening level of violence and brutality. Police managed to get the situation under control by 7:50. 15 Slimmers were taken into custody. Piers Gutton-Morgan is the on-site caretaker and he joins us now. Piers, what happened exactly tonight?
I've never seen scenes like this before in my 45 years at the centre. Both groups of people turned up at the same time after our secretary made an honest mistake, and almost instantly I heard someone call a rival member a blubberfield wanker. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving with a few of the Slimming World members taunting the Weight Watchers lot about being able to eat unlimited amounts of pasta, and then someone threw the weighing scale straight into a group of people. Everything went nuts after that, and one Slimming World member just called them all point-counting pricks and stormed out. The ones who weren't out of breath were going all out for blood. Cops bundled 15 of them into a couple of police vans and sped off.
Piers, thank you. A young mum from Southend has been describing her outrage today after her 8-month-old daughter was banned from attending a vegan child's birthday party as she was wearing a cow onesie. Millie Hyde told Southend News Network that she arrived at the birthday bash with her daughter Tanya wearing an adorable cow onesie, not realising that birthday boy Eddie Soy Abington is being raised as vegan by his mum Esmeralda. Mum Millie joins us now. Millie, have you calmed down yet? What exactly happened?
As soon as I arrived at Funky House Soft Play in Ashington, I started getting filthy looks from a lot of the mums there. I only realised afterwards that they were all vegan as well. I didn't even get my own coat off before Esmeralda came over and asked me to leave. She was really upset and told me that I was just plain rude to dress my child that way. It made me so angry when she said that I was mocking her beliefs, and I just walked out with Tanya. A few hours later, she texted me and said that my child was no longer allowed to play with her child at the local playgroup where we met. She's off her rocker.
Millie, thank you very much. We contacted Mrs. Sawyer Abington for a statement, and she told Southend News Network that she stands by her decision.
Well, there's no way that she could plead ignorance and say that she didn't know that I am a vegan and that I'm raising my child to follow these beliefs. I make it my business to let everyone in my circle of friends know on a regular basis and my Facebook cover image is a large meme saying, hardcore mega vegans do it all night long. I'm sorry to say that she is plain ignorant, and I can't have her daughter anywhere near my Eddie anymore. You wouldn't take your child to a Muslim birthday party dressed as a side of gammon after all. That cow onesie gives out the impression that it's okay for humans to skin a real cow alive and wear the skin for their own entertainment. I still feel sick now just thinking about it, and I am considering my options. My lawyer has already told me that it could constitute a hate crime.
Well, that's all from the Southend News Network team this evening. Join us next time for our exclusive investigation into dangerous levels of sodium chloride on our town's chips. Good night.